Garth Brooks, country legend or mainstream sellout? There's no denying that Garth Brooks is one of the biggest stars in country music history, from record sales to sold-out arenas and a collection of awards that most artists can only dream of. He's left an undeniable mark on the genre. Let's be real. Friends in Low Places is arguably the one song you could play around a group of people who absolutely hate country music, and they'd still recognize it. Garth has crossed into the mainstream in a way few others have. And while that success is impressive, it hasn't come without its share of critics. Some country music insiders have voiced strong opinions about Garth. And today on CountryCast, we'll take a look at what some of those stars have said about him. Wheeler Walker Jr. Weighs in first up is Wheeler Walker Jr. For those unfamiliar with him, Wheeler is a guy who doesn't mince words. He tells it like it is. And if you don't like it, well, tough luck. On Your Mom's House podcast in March of this year, Wheeler shared his unfiltered thoughts about Garth Brooks and modern country music with host Tom Segura and Christina P. Right now, country music is basically computers and expletive, Wheeler said. People don't understand that back in the late 80s and early 90s, it was Dwight Yoakam, Alan Jackson, real country artists. Tom Segura jumped in to add Clint Black's name to the mix, and Wheeler agreed, continuing, "Then Garth came along, and he was basically the Florida-Georgia line of his time. He was playing pop, expletive, and all the real country guys hated him. Now, I get why people get mad when I make fun of Garth, but you've got to remember, I'm older than these effing dudes. At the time, Garth was the Florida-Georgia line." Christina P. responded in surprise, saying she didn't know that. Wheeler elaborated, "Yeah, because back then it was so slick. He was aiming for pop radio. You wouldn't have thought it was country music if you just heard it on a blind taste test. It was like pop songs disguised as country, and everyone tried to sound like Garth after that." Wheeler wasn't holding back, and he definitely wasn't a fan of Garth's influence on the genre. Eric Church's disapproval. Next, we turn to Eric Church, another major figure in country music who has made no secret of his feelings about Garth. In 2017, at the CMA Awards, Garth Brooks won the coveted Entertainer of the Year trophy. But the night wasn't all smooth sailing for the country icon. According to Rolling Stone, Garth admitted to lip-syncing during his performance of Ask Me How I Know, a decision that didn't sit well with Church. Garth explained to reporters backstage that the decision to lip-sync came after a grueling tour schedule. "We were in the middle of 12 shows in 10 days, not 10 shows in 12 days. We did a game time call on whether to sing the track or lip-sync. We decided to lip-sync because the voice just wasn't there anymore, and we wanted to represent country music as best we could." Church, known for his no-nonsense approach to performing, wasn't impressed with the excuse. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Church responded, "We don't use machines, we use instruments, so the guy who wins the biggest award of the night lip-synced in the biggest moment on the show. And his excuse, I didn't like it. I felt like he was speaking for the other nominees. For me, if I can't sing, I won't sing. I'll sing badly if I have to, but at least it's real." Eric Church is known for giving his all during live performances, even doing marathon 3-hour shows. So it's no surprise that he didn't take kindly to the idea of a lip-sync performance, especially from someone like Garth. Waylon Jennings and the Lucky SOB. Another country legend who had strong words about Garth Brooks was Waylon Jennings. Back in 1994, Waylon gave an interview to The Inquirer, where he had this to say about Garth. "I think he's the luckiest SOB in the world. He's gotten more out of nothing than anyone I can think of. I've always accused him of sounding like Mr. Haney from Green Acres." Garth responded to the criticism years later, when he appeared on the Electric Barnyard Show on 92.5 FM in Connecticut. When asked about the feud with Waylon, Garth said, "No, I never met Mr. Jennings. For some reason, though, I guess I was the guy he targeted. It's weird because all the people who inspired me to get into country music, they say Waylon was their guy. Everyone loves him. He's a legend. But I just let it go. I never knew what to say." Garth seemed to believe the feud was one-sided, but the tension didn't end with Waylon. His son, Shooter Jennings, also expressed his disdain for Garth in a 2013 interview with Charleston City Paper. "Garth Brooks is as country as expletive. Back then it was like, what the expletive is going on? This guy's terrible. This isn't country music." It seems like the Jennings family, both Waylon and Shooter, were never fans of Garth's mainstream approach to country music. When it comes to the changing of the guard in country, Garth was often seen as a symbol of everything that was shifting away from the traditional sound. Garth's impact and authenticity. So, what's the takeaway from all this? Is Garth Brooks truly a country legend, or did he sacrifice authenticity for mainstream success? He certainly revolutionized the genre, blending pop influences into his sound in a way that appealed to a broader audience. But for many purists and traditionalists, like Wheeler Walker Jr., Eric Church, and the Jennings family, his approach to country music felt like a departure from its roots. And let's not forget the bizarre chapter of Garth's career, where he reinvented himself as the rock star persona Chris Gaines. That period raised even more eyebrows about whether Garth was in it for the love of country or for a bigger, more commercial stage. So, what do you think? Is Garth Brooks a true country artist, or did he sell out for mainstream appeal? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're a fan, tell us your favorite Garth song.